Women, you cannot wash men off the same way that they wash us off. We are penetrated. They are penetrating. It is a complete difference. And I'm trying to tell you, if you want a certain type of partnership, do not disqualify yourself from a high earning, high value, masculine man because you couldn't be disciplined, because you allowed these men to tell you a story, because a man will tell you, I love you so much. I want to marry you. We're going to be together. It's been 2 months. He doesn't love you. Make him earn it. Why is the most valuable thing that you have so easy to get? So easy to access. Anybody can get it. First night, you don't even know this man's last name. And I'm not going to say what you do is wrong. It's not wrong. It just disqualifies you.
Why does the man have to pay for the date? Because you just have to. Because that's what being a man is, and some things are just better old-fashioned. I happen to believe that men are better when they are old-fashioned. Old school morals, old school values, old school chivalry, old school courtship. It doesn't, just because it's old school doesn't mean it doesn't work. I tell you, doesn't mean it is a bad thing. Fellas, it is embarrassing when you're getting your girl to split the cost, figuring out how many nuggies she ate versus how many nuggies you ate. The best thing that you can do as a man is flex some gentlemanly masculinity and just allow her to rock up, look good, feel good. She's already paid for the beautiful outfit, the dress. If you're a lucky man, maybe lingerie. She's done the makeup, the hair, the nails. She's spent hundreds of dollars of her hard-earned money as well as her time to just look amazing for the date. The least you can do is gladly pick up the bill, and don't make a big deal of it. Excuse yourself, pretend you're going to the bathroom, pick up the bill on the way back. Do something like that. Ladies, this is not to devalue your ability to contribute at all. Masculine energy is all about doing. Feminine energy is just all about being. So your job is just to rock up, look and feel amazing for the date. Our job is to take care of the hard stuff, which is planning, executing, and paying for the date. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because it is controversial.
I've just decided altogether to avoid women, that it's better to be single, guys. They're almost like happy about the fact that they're going to make the choice to avoid the entire gender of women because they have yet to actually resolve the war they have within themselves.
It is not because they're fighting a war within themselves. It is because they found peace with themselves. And she was so close. She was just so close to getting there because at least she's recognizing what men are saying. Because they're tired of the complaining, the double standards, the expectations, and the risk of losing everything that they've built. There is no unresolved internal war going on in these men. He just found peace and contentment on his own instead of using that energy and effort on someone else.
These modern women don't want men to be happy. It's any other reason besides he was happy and he didn't want to deal with any nonsense and drama that you could bring into the home.
First off, I didn't have a message for black women. My message is actually for the men. And it's to show the men what the women do that they already know. And it's easy to prove it. It's just like if you wanted to prove that white people who keep saying that they're not racist are racist by simply putting a mask over the resume and then showing up at the job and see if they treated you differently than when they read the resume and they thought you were white. That way you have actual proof on tape. So what I would have had was actual proof on tape that in a discussion where people were talking about this is why women aren't being approached. If these people gave a crap, they would listen even when it's stuff they don't want to hear, which is why I gave the example of if you're a Jewish person, you better listen when the Nazis talk. But instead, I was told, so are you threatening us? So they don't ever want to listen. And I proved it to the men that the people that sit here and say they actually do want to have a conversation with you won't, because you found every excuse to not listen. And there's no reason to do that. And if we really wanted to have a true conversation amongst people, we'd actually want to play in the space of people who disagree. I want someone to challenge what I've said, specifically what I've said. Ask me to prove it, and I will. I stand 100% on everything I say and can prove it. And that's why y'all go to the language and how it was said and whatever. But it's never, what did he say that was wrong, inaccurate, not factual? And that's what I showed.
But why do women feel that they can't court a man when he's courting her? So why do women feel like you can't tell him, hey, get dressed, meet me here, or I'm going to come pick you up. We got dinner plans. We got this. Let me fly you out. Why is it a problem for women to do the same thing to men, but expect the man to do everything. I guess I'm just like, I'm mind blown when it comes to that.
So I'm a jump in on that because I can relate to you. So I think that a lot of women was raised off of survival and not love. I think a lot of women was raised on literally coming out of survival. I wasn't, and I'm just speaking from my personal experience. I was raised out of love. I was taught that if he paid a bill, you leave the tip.
I don't participate in those conversations because I think that women who don't take care of the men that they love are broke, to be quite honest. The ones who complain about, oh, why are you doing that? It's because they don't have it to do. Because let me tell you something. When a woman loves a man, she will spin that bag.
Man, this is the Nothing But the Truth live podcast.
We always hear about a man who fumbled a good woman, that one that got away that he'll never forget. What I notice we don't talk about enough is the women who fumbled a good man. There are women who come from toxic relationships. It's just what they're used to. And when they're confronted by a good man that actually has boundaries, treats them right, doesn't cheat, doesn't yell, they see them as boring, don't want to fight, they're calm all the time. They're not used to being treated well. So they leave him. But trust, she's going to always remember him, and she will compare every other man to him. She will have that regret. Yes, men fumble good women, but women fumble good men all the time. So ladies, if you're holding on to a good, boring one right now, don't fumble him. But what do you guys think?
Hey, babe.
Yes.
I got a question since you always ask some questions. Women are right and men are always wrong. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. Hell yeah. Women are always right, men are wrong. For sure.
So you really believe that?
Believe it to my core.
Women are always right and men are always wrong.
Yep. You know it.
Well, check this out. Riddle me this. So if a man says a woman's right, is he wrong?
If a man says a woman's always right, is he wrong?
Food for thought.
Good one.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Are you single?
Yes.
Do you think dating gets easier as you age, or is it going to get harder?
I feel like it might get harder, but I feel like it would be easy for me. I don't know.
How so?
Because I'm not like these typical girls that are out here showing naked. I'm very like housewife material. I have discernment. Yeah.
What would you say makes you a good housewife, though?
I would say I would listen to my man. Like, I would be there for him. I feel like that's an answer that every woman gives, but in reality, I am very like, my man leads, I follow.
He says, we're leaving Miami because I have a better job in Minnesota. You're going with him.
Definitely, yes, that's my man. I'm gonna go with him.
If he told you, I don't like what you're wearing today, it's a little bit too provocative, you would change for him.
Yeah, because sometimes I'm not even comfortable wearing shorts.
If he told you, Lisa isn't the best influence in your friend group, you should probably spend less time with her, you'd listen to him.
Yes, because they're not around my friends as much as I am, so they're able to see things I cannot see.
So where do you think so many women get lost in the, I'm an independent girl and I just don't need a man in my life?
I think it's the internet. The internet has changed women into believing that they can do things on their own and they can they don't need to listen to a man until they're in their mid-30s and buying their own drink and realizing, well, I should have gotten that man when I was in my mid-20s.
I expect princess treatment, Zaid. Trips, gifts, the full package.
Princess treatment requires a prince, and princess have standards.
I meet the standards. Look at me. I'm young. I'm beautiful. I'm the prize.
You're describing depreciating assets. Beauty fades, youth expires.
So, I bring energy. I bring vibes. I inspire you to be better.
I don't need an inspiration, Miriam. I need execution. I don't pay the mortgage with vibes.
You are so transactional. Relationships aren't business.
Marriage is the biggest financial contract you'll ever sign. If it's not a business, why does it end up in court?
I bring me. I'm the table. You are lucky to sit here.
No, Mariam. I bought the table, I paid for the chairs, I own the house the table sits in.
You are not the table, you're a guest. And guests can be replaced.
Excuse me?
Finish your dinner. I'll call you an Uber. Know your position.
And let me be respectful to the brother that was talking about, hey, this is why men have to pay. Because she's spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on her hair and her makeup and, you know, her outfit and stuff like that. She might wear that same outfit for, 4 or 5 dates. And what men are saying is that's not exclusive to me. You might wear that outfit to work and then come on the date with me, which is fine. I'm not saying, you know, you shouldn't go home and shower and change the outfit. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is you bought that outfit for you, but you're trying to charge it to me. If you do that with your business, then the IRS is going to call that fraud, because you tried to buy something and then you try to say, oh, I bought it for this specific reason. They're going to call that fraud, and you're going to have to pay penalties and fines and fees whenever they find out. That's what y'all are doing. Y'all are trying to game and scam men. Y'all are trying to tell men, well, I bought this, but because I'm using it for this specific purpose, you got to pay for it. They're running their lives like a business. I'm going to expense it to the man, right? This is a business expense. Makeup, hair, nails, all that stuff. I'm doing it for myself, but the men like it too. So technically I'm doing it for them so they can pay for it. That's not how it works. That's not how it goes. You were doing it for yourself. You got to pay for that, period. Or it's called fraud if you do that. And that's what men are clocking right now. What you're doing in the dating game, it's legal because, you know, ain't nobody, you know, as far as that goes, you're not committing any crimes, basically. Not legally, but ethically, you are committing a crime. What you're doing is actually frowned on. You know it is, but you could, well, you know, that's the way the game goes. Okay, if that's the way the game goes, don't hate the player, but hate the game. Okay then, fine. That's why men are walking away. Well, why don't men want chaos? Why don't men want to approach women anymore? Because I hate the game. It's not like I hate you or I dislike you. I just hate the game. You told me hate the play, don't hate the player, hate the game. Okay, I'm walking away from the game. Men going their own way. Why aren't men approaching? How come men don't pursue? How come men don't yearn? I'm not a part of the game. That's what you're gonna hear him say. I don't want to be a part of this game no more. I'm walking away. I'm doing my own thing. Y'all act like y'all did it. You said it, and men followed it, and y'all didn't like it.
The way that men treat women who are in their 40s as if somehow they're supposed to be like discarded by society is absolutely laughable. And I don't say all men.
What I find interesting about this, the same way a lot of y'all ladies in your 40s feel about men your age not prioritizing you when it comes to dating, is exactly how it was for those same men when they were in their early to mid 20s. When they were trying to date girls their age, y'all neglected them because they were too young, they were too immature, they didn't have enough experience, and they definitely didn't have enough money to date y'all. So what happened was when girls were in their early to mid 20s, y'all were dating men in their 30s and their 40s. So those same men that y'all overlooked, they are now in their 40s and they worked on themselves. They're more mature, they have more experience, and they have more money. So they have more to offer. So now these men have options and they're deciding not to date you. Just like how when y'all were in y'all early 20s and you had options, you decided not to date men in your age range. I'm not saying whether it's right or it's wrong. I'm just showing y'all that the shit's coming full circle.
Speaking for my community, Black women, we run right? And that can be incredibly intimidating.
Why you gotta do?
We're
Why you gotta go to?
educated,
We're
we have
intimidated.
businesses.
Y'all are too
That is a
intimidated to be with us. That is come on.
Yes, that is a thing.
Go ahead,
That is absolutely a thing.
Go ahead.
We are the most educated demographic.
Mm-hmm.
We run businesses at the highest rate.
Mhm.
We are starting businesses at the highest rate.
Mhm.
We are running our
Why
households.
are you lonely?
Because Black men sometimes can be intimidated by the success of a career-driven Black woman.
So you're saying we're scared?
That's precisely what I'm saying.
You're saying black men are scared to be with black women
Some
who are
of y'all
successful.
When you have actually experienced dating somebody who is legitimately jealous of you, then I think that you have the standing to say that that exists.
I can't pick for you.
As a man who has celebrated black women his entire life, who is married to a very successful black woman, why does it always have to be that black men are scared, or they're upset, or they're doing something, or they're intimidated? Stop blaming black men. Just like we don't blame black women. Stop blaming black men.
Girls think that they want to date a high-value man until he starts a
So basically, this creator goes on to say that women want to date a high-value man, right? But it can be very uncomfortable when they feel the same standards that the man applies to himself also being applied to her. These are things like having really high standards for the relationship, for communication, for responsibility, for holding yourself and your partner accountable. And she says that it can be very challenging to be held to those standards by a man who withholds them for his own self. And this is one of the themes I talk about on my page a lot. When you think about a high value man, a lot of guys at least will think about Ferrari or Lambo, making a bunch of money, the condo in Miami or whatever cool city you want. But what being a high value man actually is having very high standards that you openly communicate and withhold to the other person as well as yourself, along with being an amazing, nice person who's caring, compassionate, loving, and holds beautiful qualities within yourself. Sure, if a guy just so happens to have the Ferrari or the cool condo or whatever, that's great too. But having only those things does not make you a high value man. So if you're a woman expecting or wanting a high value man to come into your life, I highly suggest that you be prepared or at least open to the idea of being held accountable for your actions and also being held to a very high standard in a relationship.
I am 60 and single. First of all, I divorced on year 29 of my marriage. I left at 54, 6 years ago, so I'm still single. Secondly, when you're meeting guys now, they jump to conversations that are way more intimate than what I desire to be in getting to know you. So that's out. Explicit with things that, no, I'm just meeting you. Absolutely not. Then they want to ask you questions and make you feel like you want to interview. Like, what do you do? What do you like to do when you're not working? What do you like? Maybe it's just me, but I don't like to feel like I'm being interviewed for the role, interviewed for the job. Like, can we just talk and talk about things, talk about the world, talk about what's going on, and then let things just flow organically. But as far as the succession of questions, making me feel like I have to answer the questions correctly to be chosen, I'm not on that time. I'm just not about that life. I'm just not going to do that. Let's just talk. And then I say, I painted this, or I made this, or I went here. Let's just talk. Let's just let it flow. Can we get back to being organic in conversation, please?
I hear you. A lot of people feel exhausted from dating and relationships, and I think there's a reason behind that. Modern relationships are very emotionally intense. We are dating for multiple years, we are moving in together, we're sleeping with each other, and then we're breaking up all throughout our teens and 20s. So by the time a lot of us hit our late 20s, early 30s, instead of being in a position where we are ready to get married, a lot of us are going through a healing journey instead. That's why I want to point out that historically, people did not experience heartbreak like this. They were more reserved. Relationships were slower, and if anything, people did not get that emotionally intimately invested until they were ready for marriage or actively married, which means they didn't have to spend a decade healing from repeated emotional trauma the way that some of us do. And I do want to add this last part, even though it might be hard to hear, and that is that healing is important, but I don't want you to heal yourself into isolation. Because if later on you realize that things like love, marriage, family were things that you wanted, it might be a case where we're a little late, because the options only get fewer and fewer. We all know that. And so I'm just saying, don't close the door on something that you might want to open back up later.
Submission, one of the most misunderstood words in modern culture.
today. When most women hear submission, they instantly think of weakness. They think control, manipulation, or losing their independence. But that's not submission. That's distortion. True feminine submission is not about being controlled. It's about trust. It's allowing a man to lead when he's proven and that he's capable of doing so. That's where modern women today get it wrong. You want a masculine man to lead you, protect you, and provide for you, but the moment he tries, you call it controlling. You want a king, but you treat him like a subject. Submission does not mean silence. It means respect. It means understanding polarity, that two alphas cannot coexist in one relationship without constant power struggles. Someone has to lead, and someone has to trust that leadership. It's not oppression. It is balance. And before any of you twist that, yes, it requires the right kind of man. You don't submit to a weak man, a liar, or a manipulator. You submit to a man who's earned it through his actions, his consistency, his integrity, and his ability to make you feel safe. Real submission only thrives in the presence of real masculinity. And when both play their role, the relationship flourishes. But when both try to lead, it collapses. So no, ladies, submission does not strip you of your power. It amplifies it, because the strongest women know when to lead and when to lean back. The weakest ones are so afraid of being controlled, they end up controlling themselves right out of love. If you want a masculine man, learn to trust the masculine. You can't demand protection while competing for dominance. That is not partnership. That is just complete chaos.
I just need to know from a men's perspective, are y'all waiting on girls to talk to you first? Like, are you waiting on a girl to ask you on a date first? Because that's crazy to me. Like, when you're out in public and you're making eyes with a girl and you're, like, making it known that you're attracted to her, but you're not going to say something, how are you not going to say something? Where are the huevos? Where are the huevos these days? I feel like there's so many, like, times that guys want to say something to girls and they don't. Like, is there a guy watching this that can give us some insight? Like, why don't you just do it? Why don't you just do it? Are you scared? Are you waiting for her to say something first? I like my men to be assertive and dominant. If you want to say something to me, say something to me. I'll give you the opportunity. I'll put my phone down.
I don't know why so many women think that it's so easy to approach when they themselves start sweating over the thought of roles reversed. Just off the top of my head, 3 really easy reasons why it is difficult for a man to approach. Number 1, fear of rejection. Number 2, anxiety over what he actually says to you. And number 3, the situation is not ideal. Like, you're not alone. That's just 3, but there's like 100 more.
Are men stronger than women physically?
No opinion.
You don't have an opinion on that?
No.
What do you mean?
I don't have an opinion.
You don't have an opinion.
No.
What do you think?
I don't have an opinion.
You don't want to answer the question?
I don't have an opinion. Is that okay?
Is it that you don't want to share your opinion?
Oh no, that's not what it is.
Generally speaking, are men physically stronger than women?
No opinion.
You don't have an opinion?
No.
Let me ask you a question then. Do you think men and women are of equal strength, generally speaking?
No opinion.
Are you just being bad faith intentionally?
No. You don't like my answer. That's all.
Well, you haven't given me an answer, so there's not really room for me to like or dislike your answer.
Is the reason you're wanting to plead the fifth because you're afraid of kind of the cultural backlash of like, oh, well, people think that everybody can be just as strong as everybody. It's not true. I was just curious.
No.
Okay. What's your reason for pleading the fifth?
No opinion.
Are you just going to answer that to every question? No opinion?
I don't have an opinion on this topic. Thank you.
Next. What?
Yeah. And I would say that it's really good advice from Denise. A lot of these modern women are closing the door. Well, I guess you could say some men too, to be honest. You're closing the door on something that you might want to look at. I think a lot of men, when they're stepping away from dating, they're just trying to get away from the nonsense. And I do think that you also have some men that are like, no, man, I'm much through. I'm pretty much through. I don't hate women. I actually love women. I love the way they look, fantastic. But all of this run around and back and forth, especially in the new age with you youngsters, I cannot do it. I just can't. I'm too old. I'd rather just sit back and enjoy my money. I'd take myself out to eat. If I really need some company, I'm good enough to get some for a night or two, or maybe even a week, right? But after that, I don't want anything else. And you know what? That's fair. I can understand that.
In your opinion, why do nice guys finish last?
They're too nice. They don't know what they're doing. They too gentle.
Why do girls complain that chivalry's but nice guys finish last?
You asking too many questions. I don't know all that. I don't know.
We just trying to figure out y'all, because we just confused at this point.
If you want to be honest, they be confused too. 1 minute we feel one thing, the next minute we feel another thing. We confused too. Ain't no answer.
At least you're honest. Do you like a nice guy or do you like a...
It depends. You could be, I like a fun.
So someone that'll like playfully make fun of you, like type shit?
Yeah, but I don't like too much of a nice guy because I feel like you're a bitch.
God damn.
So, it's like a happy medium.
Camera, I'm right here. You are a You was born to...
I'm convinced some women just want the wedding day and not a marriage.
Married?
Yeah.
You were married?
I was married. I was a married woman.
What?
Yeah.
How long were y'all married?
Not long, probably 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Such a great guy, amazing guy. But we just didn't want the same things in life.
Okay.
He was okay with just love and, going to church and having a family, going to work and raising kids. And
You
I was
feel
like,
like you
I
wanted
want more.
way more. Yeah, I get that.
And I shouldn't feel bad for wanting more.
Did you feel like you knew y'all weren't on the same page before you walked down the aisle? So why'd you do it? What was the reason?
That's a lot of pressure.
Okay.
When a man proposes to a woman, that's a lot. And in front of people,
I didn't want to let my community down. They thought this was beautiful.
look, I gotta say yes. After that situation, I'm gonna tell you what you don't want to hear. Because someone should have told me.
Oh.
And I'm not gonna put that responsibility on them. But if someone would have been like, hey girl, you're not even happy right now.
He was happy.
Yeah.
Man.
And that makes it harder.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you have someone that loves you. But at the end of the day, love is not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not enough because love is a choice. Are you going to...
So you heard her say her womanese, saying that he's a great guy. They've been married for 2 years and he's the one who wanted to be in love and family and church and God and all these great things. But she didn't want it. What did she want? She wanted to be a bop. That's exactly what she wanted to do. She wanted to be out in these streets. She had FOMO. I don't know how old she is. She looks in her mid-30s. I'm not going to cap. But it just goes to show that a lot of women just want the title. They just want the, oh, I'm married. Somebody cared about me enough to get on one knee and propose and do this whole big wedding thing, and they don't even appreciate it. And it's funny to me because a lot of women will pray the Ciara prayer and want to Russell Wilson, and when they get him, they don't even know what to do. They say, oh, that's the boring guy. Like I always say, nice guys finish last. So after they finish running the streets, that's when they want to settle down with that nice guy. Gentlemen, don't be the nice guy. Be the first choice. Always be the first choice, because they'll do like this. They won't appreciate you. They will say you have no value and they'll leave. Then they go back to the streets and get ran through again. Don't save them. They don't want to be saved. And all I want to do is ask this young lady one question. And you want to get married. Pack it up.
That's how they connect emotionally. We sit right there on the couch and we talk to each other face to face. Men don't do that. Men are most likely going to sit in a group or sit on the couch or wherever they are, and they'll sit kind of, to the side of each other, and they'll kind of grunt and nod and talk about different things, and it'll be short sentences and here and there. But by the end of the conversation, there will be an understanding of what's going on. If you need me, you got my number. Women don't connect like that. And I think she's going to have to understand that you're going to have to put a lot of effort into connecting with the man, and vice versa. It's not going to be all of this, just open up and be vulnerable and let's just talk and be friends and things of that nature. So he's going to have to compete on one side with having to just let her talk and talk and talk and talk. Number two, he's going to have to be very, very high class is not really the word that I'm looking for, but that's the only thing that I can think of that's really going to make her happy. Such is life for a lot of these modern women, right?
When you dealing with a woman and she tell you about the last guy, if this guy seems like the alpha male, he seems like he seems like that guy, then you are more likely the sucker. Women date the opposite of what they leave. So if a woman leaves you and you a simp, this simping ran her away, so she gonna go into the arms of a player. She gonna go into the arms of what she feel like she was missing, that alpha man, masculine player energy, right? If you are a guy, let's say like me, when a woman, 9 times out of 10, and when a woman leave a guy like me, they date down and they date guys that's more safe for their emotions. Simp like this. So what this chick did was she dated down to a guy who was more safe and suckerish. But usually that's short-lived because the guys who are more safe are usually more simpy and suckerish and do like this. And so they get a reality check and say, oh, what the am I doing? Let me go back and play with the big dogs, what I'm used to. So always remember that. Listen to the ex. And if the ex is the player, right, if the ex was that dude, you got to learn how to sift through the lies. Learn to sift through the lies and like that. But if the guy seems like a simp or overbearing or like that, she more than likely view you as a guy who's, masculine and playerish. But if the guy was, playeristic about his, when she's rebounding, she's going to be looking for a safer option because she don't want anything that reminds her of that what she just left.
Majority of men in America earn less than $80,000 a year, meaning that majority of men in America are average earners. Majority of households in America are 2-income households. So yes, you know what that means? It means that you are likely going to have to get with an average earning man, and together you guys are going to build and accumulate wealth together. That is what lots of successful, happy married couples have done. That is not promoting struggle love.
I 100% agree with her, and this is exactly what happened to me. The thing is, I met my average earning man when he was 23. And so for a 23-year-old that is generating sufficient income where he could provide for the necessities, I said, come here, because we're about to multiply that. Fast forward 3 years, that's exactly what happened. Now that average earning number turned into that number times 2.5. We're currently pregnant and he's able to keep me at home because we're both fighting for the same thing and we're both locked in. And this is why I will always scream and shout, get married young. Not too young, but young enough where both of you can grow and build together. A man grows under stress. A man generates more when he has someone to fight for, and you will achieve your dream life a lot faster and sooner. However, both parties need to learn how to suffer well. And when I say suffer well, I don't mean accepting disrespect, having low standards, but learning how to deal with life. Because marriage is easy, but life is hard. You can have it all, just not at the same time. As always, ladies, be wise.
When you test a guy in a relationship, you're not finding his bad side, you're creating it. It's hard to scroll very far on TikTok without seeing a million different types of tests that you can do on a guy to see if he's up to snuff, if he's committed, if he really likes you. But it's a horrible litmus test. It's like poking a hole in a boat to see if it sinks. Because you aren't finding his true self. You're creating unnatural conflict and proving yourself right when he reacts like any normal person would. Now, to be clear, I don't think that just sitting back and observing a guy's behavior is a test. If you want to see if he tips the waitress and make your decision based on that, that's just an observation. A test is when you create a fake scenario, like accusing him of cheating when you don't really think he did just to see how he reacts, or paying someone to slide into his DMs to see if he takes the bait. And of course, this stems from anxious attachment, where it's not enough for a guy to show you his love and commitment gradually over time like a healthy person would. You want undeniable proof right now, immediately, and you'll do anything to get it. The sad part is a lot of women think that they're emotionally mature when they do this because playing these sorts of head games gives you this like psychological high horse to stand on where you feel like you have leverage over the relationship. But it's actually really emotionally immature because you're not recognizing that the problem is originating in your own head. If you feel the need to test a guy, consider it a red flag. Not about the guy, but about where your own attachment style might be leading you astray.
We have 20 times as many options as women in the same category. What happens is a woman is dating a guy who she thinks is really good looking, smart or whatever, and she doesn't realize how many other women are trying to get with that same guy. Answer for your friends. Just think of your 5 closest friends. Age. What is the age range do you think your friends would be attracted to?
35, 45.
I have to ask this. We're excluding married men. They can't pick for married men.
No, it's not good.
We don't care what race, or is there a particular race?
No.
We don't care what race.
No.
So we're going to pick any race. What is too short for the guy?
Minimum 5'10".
We're excluding obese men, correct?
Like, let's be honest, guy. Who wants to date a fat man?
Okay, but he's got to be 5'10", right?
Yeah.
And he's between the age of 35 and 45, and he's not obese, right? Ready? Here's another one. Be honest, not you, your friends. Minimum income. See, look at the look on her face.
100K.
100K.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're talking about a man who is 35 to 45. He's not married. Okay, so we're excluding all married men. We're excluding, we're excluding anyone under 5'10". We're excluding obese men, and we're excluding men that make under $100,000 a year. Now, so my question for you is, what percentage of men in the United States do you think that is?
40%?
40% of men?
Yeah.
It's less than 1% of men. Now, here's the thing. All these ladies that you just spoke about, they have to choose from less than 1% of men.
And it's really not clicking in their brains. It's really not clicking in their brains that you don't have the options that you think you do. For these guys, y'all consider them cream of the crop. And all of the other guys y'all consider scrubs. It's not clicking in your brain that this guy does not. And this is what modern women be doing. They be walking up to these guys thinking that these guys have to put up with their shenanigans. They do not. Like he was saying, you're looking at, is it about, 40% of men? No, not even close. It's less than 1% of men that y'all are looking for. All of y'all are going for, and that's what men keep on saying to you. All of these modern women out here are going for the same few men. And I say few loosely in quotes. It's not a lot of these men out there. Y'all are going for those same men instead of going off. That's what I'm saying. You guys are followers. Go out there and build your own thing. Go out there and do your own thing.
Women, get out of here with this notion that we are oppressed. We are not oppressed. I just seen this meme that said we need feminism because men's rights don't vary by state like women's do. So with this delusion, do y'all realize that there are actually some privileges that we have that men don't have? And this one's about to sing, but someone's got to say it. Do you know a man has 0 reproductive rights like you do, like I do? Once that man's DNA leaves his body, he has no say-so. He can't choose adoption. He can't choose to walk away. But guess what? You can. And remember, I've said this before, it's all about equality until that accountability shows up. Paternity fraud laws are different in each state. Did you know that safe haven laws in all 50 states protect women? A woman can surrender a baby. A man can't. Sounds like a legal right that women have that men don't.
Men talk about when they're alone, because I genuinely do not understand how men do not know personal.
Okay, so I guess this is a secret that many people don't know. Pop culture loves to portray men as being very simple and shallow, like we'll get together and we'll just talk about sports all day. We'll never get into anything about our personal lives. And I guess women don't realize there's a reason for this. From birth, it was my understanding that the most noble thing you can do as a man is not be a burden on other people. And most men I've known experience talking about deep subjects as work. You are putting a burden on them. It's not a burden to talk about sports or video games or our Warhammer figures, but it is, in our perception, a burden to talk about our jobs, our relationships, and so on. So the arrangement you wind up with is, because I like you, I'm not going to burden you.
My ex-boyfriend said the main reason that he broke up with me is because I brought up the orange peel theory and he thought it was ridiculous. And you know what? I would like someone who wants to peel an orange for me. Really would. I'm not gonna ask you to. I just want to know that you would. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah, he didn't break up with you because he didn't want to peel an orange for you. He broke up with you because you're the type of person who uses viral TikTok trends to test people. No one wants to be constantly tested and played with like the relationship's a game. Because it's going to start with the orange peel theory, then you're going to do the ketchup test, and then the next thing you know, he doesn't know when and where the hidden camera is going to be next with you testing him with some new challenge. The orange peel theory is a red flag to dudes that you have been sucked into a much larger sphere of relation anti-male ideology. It's a very unforgiving space where men are seen as these lazy, unloving buffoons, and where them asking to split bills in a shared lifestyle for a serious relationship means that he must hate you. I just think it's so disingenuous that she's trying to say that he just couldn't handle peeling oranges, when the reality is that he didn't want to handle being constantly tested, and based on the way she also dodges accountability, I don't blame him.
This is my wifely opinion. If you ever hear a woman say, I work 40 hours a week, I pay for my own hair, my own nails, I take care of my gas, my utilities, I pay for my mortgage or my rent, I pay for everything. And this is the reason why I cannot be soft and feminine and be his piece. I want you to know that she is lying. The reason why she cannot be that person's piece and be the feminine woman that she is designed to be is because she just does not trust you. Her ideas of a man is severely negative. So if you ever hear a woman say those words that she cannot be somebody's piece and she cannot be feminine because she's working, make sure you let her know that you are not interested. Go find a woman who does not have trust issues and actually loves men.
Does anyone think women are more superficial?
We're much more materialistic. I think that's a fact, and there's no shame in saying that we are. I truly don't think we should try and say, no, we're not materialistic. No, we don't like nice things, because I just don't think that's true. We are gatherers, so we like to go around and get the stuff and everything like that. I think men, just like Brian was explaining, they're very, very, very simple creatures. I think when they're looking for someone to be a wife, they're just looking for someone who can take care of their kids and bear them healthily. So I think men are extremely simple in comparison to women. There's no shame at all of having like these standards as a woman, but also to say that we're not superficial or men are more superficial than us is just not true.
Why do good guys end up alone? The ones who don't play games, who love genuinely, who actually show up. They're usually the ones who get the least back. Being decent just doesn't land anymore. What lands is pain. What hooks people is someone who keeps them on edge, not someone who makes them feel safe. So the good guys stay good and stay alone. Too caring, boring, too honest, uninteresting. And then one day they just switch off, go cold, disappear because they figured it out. Kindness is what breaks you here. Your feelings get read as weakness. Your pain becomes something people laugh at. And there he is, the guy who wanted to love someone. Now says nothing, stops texting first, stops letting anyone in. He's not even angry. He just quietly fades out and never gives anyone the chance to get close again. Not because he doesn't want to, but because he got tired of being the one who always ends up hurt.
Don't tell me you want a leader. You get in a relationship with me, I tell you something, you don't listen, but if a tell you the same thing I just told you, you listen to it like it's gospel, you're single.
Single as it should be. Because how are you going to listen to outsiders but not your man? The amount of videos I see of women saying, well, I'm an adult, he shouldn't be telling me what to do, but your boss tells you what to do. Your trainer tells you what to do. Your friends are telling you what to do. Why can't the man who is protecting, who is providing, who is making sure that they have your best interest at heart tell you what to do? You can't want a leader and then refuse to let him lead.
Ladies, is it just me or can we not find men to approach us anymore? It's like, where are all the manly men? I mean, seriously, if this was back in the day, men would be all over me. Like, no man ever comes up to you anymore, asks your name, asks to take you on a date, and actually follows up on it. Like, dating today is so cooked. It's like, I don't know what to do anymore.
Excuse me, man, my phone died. Do you have the time by chance?
Nah. Plans or thinking about future. I don't want a man who's scared of all that. And I don't think men who are not scared of that exist anymore. So, girlies out there who have a man like that, just cherish them and, thank them for all of us single ladies out here struggling with the current dating reality. Yeah, and tell them they're rare. And hopefully your kids will have their dad's character and the next generations of women will be luckier. I don't know what else to say. I mean, maybe I'm just ugly.
She's giving off that to me, and maybe I'm wrong about this. She pouts a lot.
If I was a guy, I'd be so scared to be in a relationship in America because
they are willing to be traditional, but the women are not. And they get nothing in return for their money, their time, or their resources. And the girl ends up cheating or not willing to cook or make a sandwich. And it's just, I'm so happy I'm not a man.
The reason that you have a lot of these guys now saying that they don't want to be in relationships and they don't want to date and it's not worth it to them is just because it's like, I'm giving you what you're asking for. I'm giving you what you say you need. And then when it comes to me asking for what I need, you're just like, no, right? You're just not willing to do it.
A man really just got on this app and said we don't call women losers enough. And I couldn't agree more. So I made a list. Coming in at number 1, we have women who make man-hating content. Just because you can't find a man that you want that wants you back and all the ones you date are bums does not make all men losers. You're the loser because you can't get what you want. Right behind that at number 2, we have women who make de-center men content. They are literally the center of your content. If they didn't exist, neither would your platform. And lastly, for the girlies that actually post, are the ones that make first date content. It's in the same vein. It's all really ridiculous, and you're never going to find a man that is going to take you seriously because all of them are going to see your social media and run, as they should.
You know, I have to agree with the clip where she started off saying, this is my wifely opinion. If this woman is not feminine because she has to work 40 hours a week and so therefore I don't have the time to be feminine, go find somebody else. She's playing games and she's going to continue to make excuses. I'm already making excuses now. I'm going to continue to make excuses throughout the marriage when I just don't feel like doing something. Simple as that. If we go into Christmas and I just want to relax for the holidays, I don't hear a peep. You're not going to hear a peep from her. Oh, I just let my man do it. And then, of course, you know, with the presents and stuff like, oh, we got to go here. We got to go there. Oh, I just want to enjoy my life. But after the holidays are over, you know, January, February, March start creeping around and she start yapping again and giving problems. That's what modern women do. They go dormant for a season sometimes. And then they come back and start doing the stuff that they was doing in the first place because they was tired and they wanted to rest. And now I'm back trying to boss you around and do the stuff that I want to do and make you do the stuff that I want to do. Back acting like somebody that's aggressive. I can't even say masculine. Back acting like somebody that's aggressive, all down your man's throat, all on your man's back about stuff, nagging, just being a terror to everybody in the house, including the kids and the dog. And that's why y'all not married.